Hey Canva creators, welcome back to LearnXpert. Today we're diving into something really cool, creating a custom dashboard for your computer using Canva. Imagine having a personalized wallpaper that not only looks amazing, but also helps you stay organized. We'll be designing a dashboard where you can see your calendar, organize your desktop, and even plan for some exciting events in the coming months. So let's get started. Let's set up our Canva workspace. Let's head over to Canva and create a design. For this dashboard, we want to choose custom dimensions that fit your screen size, or we can also type in wallpaper. Usually it's 1920 by 1080 pixels, so it's perfect for most monitors. Let's click on this. And once you have your canvas ready, it's time to get creative. Think of this canvas as your desktop. It's where everything will come together. Let's start by creating a background. We can select from these templates here, which can range from something very simple, like so, or we can get as complicated as we want, like this. Or if you want to start with just a blank screen, let's delete everything or just select something very simple here. And let's delete everything that we see. Now, to create a background, this will set the tone for your dashboard. So let's click on the Elements tab, and let's search for the word background. And you don't want something too overpowering, depending on your aesthetic. So let's find something that we like. So I'm gonna choose this marble background. Maybe this is too dark, but let's go with this. Now you can choose either a solid color as well. You can use a picture, or you can use a gradient. A textured background would be nice to your eyes, because if this is your wallpaper background, then you would have just a bit of texture and a bit of design to it. Remember, this is your personal space, so choose a background that reflects your style, something that makes you feel relaxed and focused. Now let's add a calendar. We'll add a calendar by going to the Elements, and this will help you keep track of important dates right from your desktop. So on the Elements tab, let's search for calendar. You'll see various styles of calendars, and choose one that fits your aesthetic and drag it over to your canvas. Or we can go to the magic recommendations here and select the calendar that we like. So for example, let's go with October 2024. I'm going to delete this, and I'll click this one. To find other designs like this, you can go to this info button, and you can see more like this, or you can view the collection. So let's see more like this. And here we can see all of the available calendar designs. And if you also want to create your own calendar that may match the aesthetic, you can go into the Elements and create a table. And we want to replicate this. This calendar has, of course, 7 columns and 5 rows. So we want, for 8 rows, this includes the days of the week. So this will be your header. So I'm going to add a row here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to add a column to the right. That's 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we can customize this, and we can add our numbers if we want. So in this calendar, let's say, for example, we don't like showing a border. So let's just put the border weight over to the thinnest, and then put in a dotted line. There we go. Just to conceal the border. So let's put in days of the week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so forth. And let's put in the numbers here. So October starts with Tuesday. So October 1st goes here. There we go. So we have our October calendar available now. So we can then format this to however way we want. So for example, let's just make this a bit smaller. Okay, I think this fits the aesthetic here that we're going for. So I'm going to delete this and put in a border, or delete that border weight by setting it to 0. And let's also change the color. So I've set the calendar here, and let's just make that a bit smaller. Okay, and you may want a header here. So let's head over to the text, and let's add a text box, and let's put in the month. So October. Let's follow the font, which is this serif font. So let's get Decorative here, put in October. So if you're happy with this, you can move this all together by just selecting multiple elements at once, and just leave it here. And if you don't want to move this anymore, just lock it in place. There we go. So you can resize and position the calendar where it feels right. For example, I'm placing it on the top right corner of the screen. This will give us space to organize other elements around it. All right, so let's personalize our calendar with some events. And let's add some text and mark important dates for this calendar here. Let's use Canva's text tool to put in the events here at the bottom. So I'm going to write a heading, and let's go with events. And to follow this font, there's a really cool way to do this. You can unlock this and then click on this copy style icon, and then paint that over the font that you want. So, or the text that you want. So I'm going to put in the events here, and let's put in a subheading. And let's do the same thing. We want a white font, and set this to 25 maybe. And these would be like your non-negotiables. So let's put in vacation week and family time, and maybe a conference. Let's add some shapes that we will use to highlight these events. So all you need to do is press R to put in a rectangle. Now you can resize this rectangle, and you can also round this out by changing or by clicking this corner rounding. There we go. And let's put in a color. So let's go with, let's say, a blue color. Oh, not the text, but this one, blue. And we're going to put this over here. So let's say we want the vacation week to be this week on your calendar. So by changing the layer, you can right click on this and then set the layer to back, like so. You can nudge this in a moment, just a bit. Okay. And maybe play with the transparency. And you can do that for your other events as well. So right click, copy, and paste, and then put that over. Let's say for your family time, it's going to be on the last week of October, or second to the last week. And again, go to layer, set this to the back portion, and then finally we have a conference coming up. So let's put that on the 30th. That all the way here. And say, for example, you want work to show up as green, yellow. There we go. And then set that all the way to the back. Okay, so these are your non-negotiable calendar events, and you want to be able to block all of that time so that you would know your free time whenever you're opening your computer. Okay. What you can also do here is press C to put in a circle, and you can use this to act as like a legend for these calendar events. So let's copy the style here and put it on vacation week. Let's zoom in a bit. There we go. And you can style this however way you want. Right now, I'm just going for this simple style. I'll put in family time here and copy and paste. I'll put in the conference in Toronto here. There we go. So this way, every time you look at your desktop, you'll be reminded of these important plans. And you can use different colors for different types of events, you know, like blue for your personal time, yellow for your work time, and maybe red for special events. If you'd like, you can also edit the text here by unlocking this and going to these. So I'm holding the shift arrow to select multiple boxes at a time. And then maybe we want a bold font here, and let's set this to red. It's not very visible with this background, so I'm just going to set it back to yellow. There we go. Now we're going to lock it in place, and now however way you create or you make changes here, it's not going to move. So here I'm going to move all the other elements, and it's not moving. So let me go back and just undo this by clicking or by pressing Control Z. And if you want to lock in these elements as well, you can just go in and highlight everything, and then hit lock. All right, you can also put in some images here if you'd like. So let's go back to your elements and let's find your frames. So for example, you're going for a Polaroid aesthetic. So for the frames here, there are a lot of possible features here or possible shapes here that you can use. So for example, let's go to Film and Photo. And let's select a Polaroid file or a Polaroid design. So I'm going to use this one. I think this one looks good. So you can hover images over this frame and it will replace this blue and green background. So, and say you want to be always inspired by your family. So I'm going to drag and drop this photo here and maybe this photo at the back. It's not very visible, so I'll just drag the same photo. Now, you can do whatever you want with these images or with this Polaroid design. So if you want it to be spread out over this marble table, you can just freely move everything here, and it's just going to fill up the screen. All right, so now you have a table full of memories of, of the photos that are important to you. You can also find a drop shadow background here. So let's go for drop shadow. And let's find something on the graphics here and use that over our images. So for example, we want to use just this, this circular shadow, and then put this on the layer so we can show the layers, and we can drag this up or down. So I'm going to drag this just below this image here so that it's over these images here, and I'm going to replicate this, copy, paste. Okay, isn't that neat? So you also want to focus on the work that you're doing, and I'll put in a box here, center, and you can label this however way you want. So let's say this is for work. So what I did there is, if you press over any image, just press the Alt button, or hold the Alt button on your keyboard and then drag the image, and it creates a duplicate. And you can also drag, or you can also hold the Shift button along with your Alt button so that it makes the shape aligned. So, and let's do the same for the bottom here. So Shift, Alt, press that all together, and then drag that in. So I'm going to drag, or I'm going to get all of these at the center and put that in the center of this design. Go. And I'm going to lock these ones in place, so I'll just group them together. Group and lock. Okay, so you want to show a bit of the background here. If you want to show that, you can just highlight these and then maybe put in a border. Maybe let's go for just one to keep it elegant, and then set the transparency here, or set the color here to a fully transparent color, no color, and the background will be white. Or sorry, the line color will be white. So you'll end up with something like this. So right now I'm going to copy this font here. I'm going to unlock this, and again, hold the Alt button, drag that to wherever you want in the screen, and then drop it. Same goes here. So let's rename this to personal. Let's rename this to work. And let's do. All right, so from here, you can personalize these labels. So I selected these labels and renamed them personal, work, to-do list, and then later. So I'm going to highlight all of these and maybe put in a smaller font, maybe go for 21. I think that's going to work. So I'll just highlight these and drag this a bit higher, and same with these. Okay, and you also may want to put in some inspirational quotes here. So a little inspiration goes a long way. Let's add some motivational quotes here on the dashboard, and let's just go to the text tab, or type in T on your keyboard without selecting anything. Type in T, and then put in the text box here. Stay positive, work hard, make it happen. There we go. Group that together and lock. And maybe you may want a shadow behind this quote, so put in a shadow, put that here. All right, so your dashboard is now finished. All we need to do now is download this in the computer and then set this as the background. You may want to place the quotes in areas where it's visible, but you don't want to clutter the screen. A good spot here is just below the calendar or your events, or somewhere empty. So we're just going to put that somewhere here, and let's go ahead and download this design. So we're okay with this. I'm going to go ahead and share this and then download. And from here, it's a PNG size. So you can also set the size here if you want. So if you want the biggest size, then you can download it here, or maybe somewhere here. Let me find this one in my computer right now. And we're back. So we have this image now downloaded in the computer. So if you have some personal pictures and whatnot, then you can see it here. Then I'm going to right click on this, and then we're going to set this as your desktop wallpaper. So let's go into the background and set this up. Right, so we're back. So we have this background now, and it has the calendar, the non-negotiable events that you want, your life quote, and your family pictures here on the side. And say, for example, you want these icons to be placed in these areas of the screen. So for example, these work icon for Canva, let's put it somewhere here, personal, let's put it here, and your admin folder, your recycle bin, put it on work, Google Chrome, and maybe a folder on your work. And say you also have other icons for your files. So let's put it on your to-do list. And we can now see the files being organized in our desktop. So whenever we're logging into our computer, we can see our family photos here on the side. We have our personal icons, or for for your personal files or for your work files, your to-do list. And once you're done with your to-do list, you can just put that on work or somewhere in the system. Or if you have like a finished folder, then you can move it to the folder that you like. And these icons under the later section, let's put that on the to-do list. And it's all very interactive, and you're ready to handle your workday now. So you can also see at just a glance your October calendar with these dates highlighted, and you can always say, I'm not available on these dates. So it's just a very easy way for you to keep yourself organized and see everything on this main screen whenever you're turning on your computer. You can also replicate this by going to your project, and let's duplicate the page. There we go. And then change everything for the next month. So if you want to keep yourself organized, just follow this format here, and you can change the events. You can change the boxes here if you want. So all you need to do is unlock this. You may want to update the calendar here one by one. So that's just one of the downsides of this, but it is going to keep you organized, and it's going to show you the information almost instantly whenever you're logged into your computer. And that's how you create a custom dashboard in Canva. With just a few steps, you can transform your desktop into an organized and inspiring space. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below with your favorite design tips, and don't forget to subscribe to LearnXpert for more Canva tutorials. Thanks so much for watching, and happy designing!